Let's break down tariffs. Think of them as a tax on imported goods, an extra fee slapped on foreign products to make them pricier than homegrown ones. The idea? Encourage people to buy American, boost local industries, and create jobs. President Trump took this to the next level, imposing tariffs on goods from China, Canada, Mexico, and Europe. The reasons ranged from protecting national security to punishing countries for things like fentanyl trafficking. The result? The government raked in $142 billion in tariff revenue by July this year. But here's the catch. Companies don't just absorb these costs. They pass them on to you, the consumer. That means higher prices on everything from cars to groceries. The administration claims tariffs will help American manufacturing and even cut the national deficit by trillions. But it's not that simple. These policies come with painful side effects. Instead of a patriotic boost, tariffs often end up as a hidden tax on your everyday purchases. And as we'll see, the fallout has been a legal and financial mess for everyone. While tariffs piled up, the courts took notice. On August 29, the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled that most of Trump's tariffs were illegal, a major blow. The court said only Congress, not the president, has the power to impose broad taxes on imports. The administration tried to use emergency powers meant for national crises, but the court wasn't buying it. Trump fired back on social media, calling the decision partisan and vowing to appeal to the Supreme Court. For now, the tariffs stay, at least until the Supreme Court weighs in. This isn't just about tariffs, it's a test of how much power the president should have over trade. The outcome could set a huge precedent for future presidents. Can one person reshape America's economic relationships with the world? The answer will define the balance of power between Congress and the White House, and the world is watching. Trade wars always create winners and losers. American steelmakers benefited. Less foreign competition meant higher prices and more sales. But for every winner, there were many losers. Farmers got hit hard when countries like China retaliated with tariffs on U.S. crops, making it tough to sell abroad. Manufacturers relying on imported materials faced higher costs, forcing them to raise prices or cut profits. Retailers, big and small, got squeezed between suppliers and customers. And at the end of the line, you, the consumer, paying more for everything from washing machines to groceries. Tariffs meant to help American workers often ended up hurting others. The real impact? Higher prices for everyday Americans? In the end, you're the one footing the bill. America's tariff spree triggered global trade wars. China, the EU, Canada, and Mexico all hit back with their own tariffs, turning partners into rivals. The recent court ruling could change everything. If the Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs, other countries might drop theirs too, easing global tensions. It could restart stalled trade talks and signal a return to rules-based international commerce. But if the tariffs stay, expect more protectionism and ongoing trade battles. The stakes are huge. This decision will shape global trade for years. Will we see cooperation or more economic conflict? The world is watching America's next move, and the ripple effects will reach every corner of the globe. Now it all comes down to the Supreme Court. If they strike down the tariffs, the government could owe billions in refunds to businesses. And you might see lower prices at the store. Everyday items could get cheaper, stretching your paycheck further. But industries protected by tariffs, like steel, would face tougher competition. If the court upholds the tariffs, high prices and trade tensions will stick around. The president would gain more power over trade, shifting the balance away from Congress. This is about more than just economics. It's about America's role in the world. Do we protect local industries at the cost of higher prices, or embrace free trade and global competition? There's no easy answer, but the Supreme Court's decision will affect us all. Your wallet, and the world, hangs in the balance. So, with all this high-stakes drama playing out in courtrooms and on the world stage, you might be wondering, what can you actually do about tariffs? It's easy to feel powerless when big decisions are made far above your head. But even though you can't argue your case in front of the Supreme Court, you still have a voice. First, stay informed. Understanding how tariffs affect your wallet and your community is the first step. When you shop, pay attention to where products come from and how prices change over time. If you're a small business owner or work in a sector hit hard by tariffs, share your story. Lawmakers listen when they hear from real people. You can also reach out to your representatives in Congress. Remember, they have the power to write trade laws. Let them know how tariffs are impacting you, your family, or your business. And when election season comes around, ask candidates where they stand on trade issues. Your vote shapes who gets to make these decisions in the future. Tariffs might seem like something only politicians and CEOs worry about, but they touch every part of your daily life, from the price of groceries to the health of your local job market. By staying engaged, speaking up, and making informed choices, you're part of the story too. So, while the Supreme Court decides the fate of tariffs, don't underestimate the power you have as a consumer and a citizen. The future of